So our first finalist to win was Catherine Shy. Obviously, we'll have her interview as they bring her back. Of course, athletes have the right at this point if they don't want to do an interview. But Catherine was here earlier for the semifinals. So anyway, we're on our way. Our first match, and the next match coming up will be 97 kilograms in Greco. There she is.
Oh yeah, and
Very good. You're first. Not only that, we made you wait the last time.
Oh, you can show it.
You want.
oh, there's a camera. Yes, there we go.
So Catherine, national champ, tell me about that, huh?
Yeah, it feels great. You know,
I mean, you've been in a lot of nationals, you've been in finals, and you wrestled great today. Talk about the finals match and what was working well and how you feel now that you got through the tough time today.
today was, you know, mental balances of coming back in the first competition back. But I had done a lot of mental prep before this to be ready for situations like that. And the game plan was get out of the tie-up and get down to my shots. And that really showed up. I was really able to attack the head well. I was able to get out of the tie-up, the cling, and get into my attacks. And just kept the pressure on. And I think that proved, I think it really shows the big jump that I've made from December. When was the last time I competed, you know, in the US Open, competed against a lot of these women. I think it shows a big jump to go from having some tough matches, having some too much upper body battle with everyone, to now coming in and handling it and just teching and pinning throughout. So
yeah, no, I mean, I know you take pride when your offense is working well. I mean, what do you think is part of the factor for that? You pretty much were dominating from your feet.
you know, I have to give my husband a lot of credit. We've just been working so hard at figuring out what is right for Catherine. What does Catherine need to look like on the mat? What's working for Catherine? What kind of positions do we need to put me in so that I'm ready to attack and I can be really offensive? I've always been, I think everyone knows I'm a very good counter offensive wrestler, and my defense is really hard to break through. So the biggest gap that needed to be built there was creating that offense and getting that offense going, so that my opponents have no opportunity to even score or even take advantage of anything. So we've just been getting creative, getting really creative in order to make that a reality. And I'm excited because this is just, you know, first tournament back. So.
Okay, so we're going to open it up for some questions and see what some of the other journalists would like to talk about.
Hello, Catherine. I hope you can hear me.
I can, Mike.
Okay. You had mentioned your relationship with your husband and your game plan. Was there ever talk about the two of you saying, is it worth it considering this pandemic and such?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a talk. It ended up being a discussion that we had the night before Olympics. It ended up being postponed. We were prepping for that. It was definitely nerve-wracking. But yeah, we had to sit down and make a pros and cons list. Like, is this right for our family? Is this right for us and our son and, you know, the future for us? And the pros heavily outweigh the cons. So we said, okay, we're doing another year. And that gave us the opportunity to not even look back. So that's why these last 6 months have been so progressive and so very worth it for us.
Why were the pros more than the cons?
You know, Olympic goal in the mind, that's a big pro. And there were so many things that we were building with my wrestling that we're just scraping the surface. And that was exciting for us. So we, you know, daily we have an awesome back and forth dialogue. My husband's throwing me, you know, technique videos at me. What do you think about this? You know, how do we problem solve this? Because that's wrestling, you know, we get really obsessed with like the need to go in the room and just like grind, but there's so much problem solving that you can do without having to be on the mat. And that's what we've taken on.
Mark Bader, you're good to go.
All right. Hey, Catherine, kind of echo what we talked about after the semi, and you're bringing it up here again. It's like this mentality and this mindset, as much, if not more than maybe being on the mat, and getting into the gym. When did you realize that? And does it become more important in the latter part of your career?
It's always been, a part of it, but I think I didn't dive into it as much. I think there were things that I avoided because it's uncomfortable, and it became really apparent when all of a sudden wrestling was kind of out of the picture. I was doing the best I could with wrestling, but it became an opportunity in a moment the last 6 months to be like, let's really dive in. And I just went full into what is it, just diving into mindset and mentality and consciousness and all these different, sides of spirituality that really have helped me put things together and helped me develop my perspective on wrestling. And it's just kind of ever evolving now. So I'm taking the idea, instead of just it's all about hard work and physical work, to, what kind of mindset can I go in each time I'm in a session? So just really diving into those areas have been fun.
Awesome. And do you have a competition schedule planned loosely, or is it tough to say at this point?
It's tough to say.
Yeah.
I'm ready for anything that is thrown at us. I think there's been a lot of discussion about, is it good or okay? Should we wrestle the world? All these different factors coming up. But if we're having this competition and it's successful, in my opinion, so let's move forward and have the next competition. So I'm hoping, the next thing would be ideally Worlds and UWW, and however we handle that in the US.
Sure. Well, congratulations. You look great.
Thank you.
Yep.
Well, hey, congratulations, national champion. It's great to be able to spend some time with you. What are you going to do to celebrate tonight? Go home?
No, it's this is Parents Weekend away. So my husband and I, we have a weekend now, and we're going to enjoy it. And we have tomorrow, we get to watch some more wrestling. And I think I'm thinking I'm getting a burger tonight. That's the plan.
Hey, so we got a text chat question.
Perfect. Okay.
So how do you think you stack up against the others at 83, especially Jakar Winchester? And anything specific you'll do to prepare for them?
This, everything that I'm doing every day is preparing for those opponents and preparing for my opponents for the Olympics. And, Jakar and I had a good match back in February, but that was back in February, a long time ago. So there's been so many adjustments being made. And, especially with talking about this mindset, the plan is not to have a perfect recipe. It's a perfect recipe for Catherine, but it doesn't mean I have to have a perfect exact thing that shows up when I wrestle that opponent. The more I can get into a zone of preparing myself and being open to whatever shows up, whatever my opponent gives me, the better I'm going to be on the mat. So the plan anticipation is moving forward and winning competitions. So,
Catherine, we're going to let you go on. We're going to have another champion coming in. Congratulations.
thank you.
Great day.
Thank you,
And,
Gary.
We'll see you soon. Hopefully we get
Absolutely.
another good tournament coming up.
Yeah, we will. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Gary.
Oh, right there for a second, sir.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Sit down?
Yeah,
Yes.
please.
Yes, they're right there. We'll get you over here in just a second. Oh.
I'm not allowing you to get over here till it's clean, man.
Okay. I got the.
National champ, huh? Congratulations.
Thank you. There you go.
We good?
Yep, we're good. You can have a seat, sir.
Okay, Nick, talk to us. National champ, man. You've been in this tournament a bunch.
I have.
How's it feel to come back in your first competition since COVID to be champion and put together a good day of wrestling?
I mean, just being able to compete and thankful for it. But with this COVID and stuff happening, it really, you can tell who decided to show up and who trained during quarantine and who didn't train. So I was able to come in and show that I've been working, getting better on myself. And just getting better every day.
So you spent a bunch of time at training center, but, hey, college, right?
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
talk about your move and the people that are influencing you now as you go into the Olympics.
Well, moving straight out of high school, I was thankful for them taking me in. College was always on my mind just because wrestling's not going to be with me forever. And I feel like one of the main things I was missing was a better being in shape, and Focus Out House helped out a lot with that. Just being able to work every muscle you need instead of just the upper body. So that was one of the main reasons that I moved out. I'm thankful for training there, but Ohio State's where it's at now.
Yeah, no, with the Buckeyes, now you're gonna have a whole new set of college fans of yours.
Oh yeah, family and friends.
How are the Buckeyes right now, man?
They're good. We got a good bit coming to compete this week. I think we had everybody medal in Greco, I believe, and we have about 3 or 4 freestyle guys coming in tomorrow. So we're doing good.
Congratulations. We're gonna let some media talk to you now. Who's got a question?
Mike Finn, you're good to go.
Hey, Nick, you had mentioned those who had trained during the quarantine and those who had not. Who helped you train during quarantine?
Well, mostly just, Coach Tom was like, hey, you got 15 miles every week. It's not mandatory, but you got hit. So I was just mostly just pushing myself. And then I got a new apartment with Dylan D'Amelio, Carson, and Jay Sean Hubbard. And they help me every day push. We go on like team runs, team sprints. We go lift. We do everything together. So they've been a big part of my success this tournament.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mark Bader, you're good to go.
All right, yeah. Hey, I maybe to the point of training over quarantine. How'd you feel that match? It looked like as the match went on, your pace felt good, and maybe did you feel your opponent slow down a little bit?
I felt him not really slow down, but he was opening up, which all I had to do was just keep good position, hold position. If I can hold position, I'll be fine, and be patient. That's what I was taught. I used to rush things. Now it's just be patient. And like the last 2 points I scored was just from being patient, and it was his mess up. So that's how I was allowed to get those extra points.
Cool, man. Well, congrats. Great job.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So what are you gonna do tonight or when you get back?
Well,
Celebrate wins?
I actually have some homework I have to do. I have some discussions that are due tonight, and then I got my family, my mom and dad drove up, and my brother's actually wrestling tomorrow, so it's a plan. I actually have an exam tomorrow too, so I got to study.
So you're gonna study?
Study, wrestle.
You're gonna hang out with your family?
Yeah. Oh yeah, hopefully.
Well, listen, man, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Hopefully Nebraska.
That could be. Huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Got it? Good go. Hey. Good job.
Thank you. You'll get a pizza now.
Yeah. Come up and clean. Next time we have a couple volunteers, even if we pay them, Yeah, you guys do. That's it. That's why shot Catherine makes here so quick. You get it on like he's doing good, don't you? All right, stand over there.
Yeah, you guys are, that's pretty good. Get me water with the brother.
Yeah, take one of the bottles. Yeah.
That was close. That was not a good ending. Slowed the whole match down. That was nuts.
So Alex, let's just talk about what you're talking about. The final bit of that match got a little bit hairy. Right?
Yeah.
You guys were close all this whole match. I mean, both you guys were great.
Yep. Yeah, it sucks to say, but I had to be a little more conservative. I knew that if I ran into him, we saw in his last matches, he used that overhook so well, and he was able to throw people off the side of his hip, and so score points on the edge. It happened to me one time, and I think I was just rushing into it too much, and so I had to play a little bit more conservative. I kept an underhook on the left side and was pushing up on his right shoulder. It kind of kept him kind of cockeyed so I could really control him. You know, it's not the way I want the match to go all the time. You know, that happens. Seen a national champ, which feels pretty good. I had a week at Greco. So, I mean, not too bad, I don't think. Yeah, I wrestled 5-6 days at Greco before this. I was doing freestyle, so.
Yeah, but you've been training, right? I mean, you came in
Yeah.
very confident
Yeah.
that you could go through a full day of tough matches.
Yeah, I feel good. Yeah, I mean, Manning it doesn't run us, but he works us hard. Our whole team is full of a bunch of workhorses that like to stick together as a pack and get stuff done as a team. I think that's why we're going to be so good this year. Our lineup is going to look crazy stacked. I mean, we got talent at all levels, every weight class, but it's because we put in all this work before. Like I said, this was our, I think, 8th week of training, I wouldn't say. So Nebraska has been fortunate enough to let us in our training facilities, but to follow, codes or whatever for the COVID, but, they're letting us in, they're getting us, we're working out 7:30 in the morning. We're split up the groups. So no, this is definitely something that I've been needing for a long time. Last year, didn't get to wrestle at the NCAA tournament. Had a tough year with my weight. Everything just wasn't falling into place. But moving up a weight class like this, and especially going 33 next year, I feel like I'm going to be a big threat. I think I have the hips, I have the power, the explosiveness, the mat awareness. Like in this match, this whole match was based off of mat awareness. I just had to be smart, keep my butt in the center. There was a few times he got me on the edge, and I tried to go underneath, but man, he was he's so tall, man, he pulled me up, and that was the point where I'm on my tippy toes, and I can't throw anybody on my tippy toes yet. So.
Well, listen, you're a national Greco champ, but I mean, are you enjoying it, and do you want to get better?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I love Greco. We really didn't have a lot of Greco guys last year, so I wasn't able to really train with a lot of people, but Liam Cronin from Indiana just came in. He's a U23, maybe runner-up or champ or something like that. I think he placed pretty high up there. He was like 3rd or 4th on the ladder. I get to work with him every day. He's shown me a bunch of cool things that I can throw into my arsenal. Peyton Robb, crazy good, just got 3rd. I mean, dude's a tank. And Ridge Levitt, I mean, I could go on and on. Ridge Levitt, Peyton Robb. I mean, we have so many guys in our room that have the potential to be big Greco stars, and our coaches are allowing us to follow our dreams. And so that's what's really cool about it.
So, got a typed in question here.
Oh, you're on mute.
No, we're good.
Oh, you're not? Okay, my bad. It says you're on mute on here. Sorry, I just
I'm
looked.
just yelling.
Sorry.
You got the live mic.
Okay, my bad.
How much have you trained in the international styles versus folk styles since you started college? And does this result change your priorities?
No, I think priority when I got to college, when I committed to Nebraska, was to be the best I could possibly be. Our coaches are one of the best staffs in the nation. I mean, you can see it with who they've produced on the international level alone. And then in the wrestling room, I mean, we have just hammers in there. And so I don't think my priorities, I don't think they've really shifted or anything. I definitely knew I wanted to go up a weight class. That was definitely a priority for me, for sure. You know, I made 25. I made the cut. You know, I did some stupid things, some mistakes as a freshman would. But I'm maturing, and I feel like, you know, it's going to be really cool to, especially after winning this, just the opportunities that are going to open for me in the Greco scene. You know, like I said, I don't want to go 57 kg. I never want to touch under 130 again. That was torture in my life. I don't think I was too big for the class, but I just don't feel the need to go down to perform. Like I'm up here at 62 kg, and I'm feeling amazing. I mean, the motor feels great, and so I feel really good in the matches. But yeah, I don't think priorities have changed, but I think this is just another opportunity for me to kind of showcase another side of my wrestling that I haven't wrestled since 2017 when I won a Fargo title.
Okay, we have to see if anyone else has some questions. We have the journalists here. Mike, you can go ahead.
Hello, Alex. Was that natural talent that let you do so well in Greco since you only had 5 days of training?
That's a great question. I've always had just natural hips, and when I was in the high school room out of Underwood, Iowa, you know, I really figured out that I have really good, like I said, kind of like a mat awareness, but I also have like a good feel when I come up with somebody. I feel like I'm not afraid to commit my hips. I did it a few times during that last match. And like one bit me on the side, you know, I knew what he was going to do, but I went in there anyways. Cause I'm like, you know what, I'm going to try and push the pace of this match. I'm going to try and control everything. So if I push him to the edge and I start to get a little, maybe out of context and maybe too over assertive and it bites me, then I just have to learn from that. But it's just, I think it's just a natural feel that I've had in my body for a long time. Just being able to back arch, like Lamont, when he put me on my back and I had to back arch, basically flip over him. I think that was just like in the middle of the moment, like I have to go. If I want to win this, I have to do something, right? So I think it's just, I don't know, maybe just the ability to kind of sense what's coming and be able to really react to things that are thrown at me. If that answers your question.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Mark Vader, you're good to go.
Hey, Alex, I was curious. Walk me through like the closing seconds of that match and the review time, right? Like you thought you win, maybe at one point you weren't sure, maybe you thought you didn't. I don't know. Just kind of take me through the emotions.
Yeah, I don't think the last part of it, the last 20 seconds, I kind of went into a defensive mode, and I'm mature enough to admit it. I feel like I started to hold on a little more. I should have just kept pushing the pace, because if I push the pace, then there's really no way for him to get anything. But I had him underneath my chest, and I thought about, like I told Snyder after, I should have just pushed him away and got back to exactly where I was. But I kind of let him come underneath me. And then it was free for all at that point. Kind of went blank, and I just started reacting to stuff. I thought I exposed him when he went underneath. I thought I at least hipped him enough to expose him. You can see it on the replay. I'm pretty sure I did. But, you know, it is what it is. And then I was kind of sitting. I never fell to my butt. I was kind of on just on my haunches, on my ankle. And I was kind of just sitting there I had over tie, and I was kind of just posted off on the mat. So I felt like I wasn't scored on. But, I mean, just the dread of waiting for that final call was really scary. I knew I shouldn't have put myself in that spot, but like I said, it's been a long time since I've wrestled Greco, so I haven't had very many instances where I got to really be careful in the closing seconds. So maybe that was a little rookie mistake, that I did. But yeah, it was a good match. I mean, hats off to that kid. He's crazy good. He gave me a weird feel. I didn't really know how to attack it, but I knew that I had to stick to what I was doing. I tried a few times. I mean, I think I tried multiple times to body lock him and bring him up, but he's so long, it's hard to, especially being 5'6", and he's maybe like 5'10", and lanky kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good wrestler. But
Well, man, we're gonna
Great
let
job.
you go and celebrate. And, appreciate all that you've done. Coming to 2 interviews today. That's
thank
great.
you. I appreciate it,
I
guys.
look forward to doing more of them with you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Max.
Thank you.
Huh.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Oh, my bad. Thank you.
We're about to clean up.
No, I understand. Thank you, sir.
These hip talks are tender. Yeah.
It's not on, right?
It is not.
Our Louise, man, did you come out here tonight to put on a show for the crowd? We saw some points, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
But, I know you've got a big gas tank, and at the end, you came through with a big throw. Talk about that crazy match and what it took for you to become our national champion.
It was a good match. It was a lot of fun. And, it's never about the other person. It's always about yourself. And in the past, that's one thing I did as I got in my own way. Not really my opponents. Of course, they have a say in it, but it was me. So I had to ultimately beat myself in that match and in the tournament, every single match along the way. I was just wrestling against myself.
Were you looking for that hip toss, that throw? Or
Not until it was open.
Obviously, you must practice it, but how do you know you got it when you were in a position to go big?
It's funny you asked that. I was just reminding myself before the match, and those that are closest to me will tell you this also, but whenever I want to do something, I'll find a way to make it happen. Whether that's, it doesn't even have to be wrestling related, right? Like we're trying to get connections to go do something, and I'll find a way. And I was just reminding myself that before this match, I was like, Lauren, you find a way to make it happen no matter what, and you're going to do that today. So.
Now,
Yeah.
you're a veteran, you've been around a few years, you've wrestled this tournament multiple times. Talk about how it felt when you got the stop sign and you were able to wave to people that care about you.
It felt good, but not because I won, but because I wrestled and competed the way that I've always known that I could, and the way that I know and wanted to today. So winning aside, winning's great, but I just wrestled the way I wanted to and the way that I've always known that I could. So that's what I'm most proud of.
That's awesome. Okay, we got some questions out there.
Okay.
Mark Brader, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, you kind of went down there in the finals at first, and you dug yourself, not dug, but you got put in a hole. What are you thinking, as you try to mount a comeback? Or are you thinking?
I wasn't thinking comeback. Of course, I know I'm down by points, but I'm thinking, okay, get to the next score. Get to the next best position. Where's the next best place I can be? I wasn't necessarily thinking. Of course, I knew I was down by a lot.
Right.
So, but yeah, just next best position.
Yeah, awesome job.
Thank you.
Mike Finn, go ahead.
Lauren, could you talk about doing this in this new hometown of yours in Iowa City, Coralville area, and the fact that several women had trained here and now had left, and I don't know if you're the last one or whatever. Talk about representing this area. Is that accurate?
No, it's not actually. I left before they did. So I was here training in Iowa City for 4 years in the Hawkeye Wrestling Club. And I actually left right after Final X last year. And, but you know, the people here in this town are such awesome people and such big supporters of wrestling. I still had a bunch of my friends and people who supported me then and still do now come out to watch and show their support and have been texting me and stuff like that. So that's fantastic. But I do live in Colorado Springs, Colorado now, and train at the Olympic Training Center with some of the girls out there.
Okay. Congratulations, Lauren.
Thank you.
Other questions? Lauren, congratulations, great job.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Really, you guys did put on a show.
Thank you. Thanks.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, guys. David, so good to see you.
You're good, I'm good.
So good to see you. Thank you.
We're gonna clean up first.
She's good. Hey, good guys. Good job.
Listen, man, we're gonna keep everyone safe.
Everyone's safe.
Heck,
You guys should have seen that out there. You should have seen that.
We did.
You watched it? Woo! Was he an actual champ? I was trying to put a show on. Because everything's kind of boring, you know?
Not your
That's a question again, Gary.
That's
Well,
it again.
National champion, and the way you wrestle tells about your thoughts about just this day and the competition.
It was a great day. I woke up. I know I was feeling good. Whole day, no pressure. Win or lose. I didn't get a lot of training. Only had a few days to really train. So, I mean, and I know everybody else did. It's a weird time, but it feels amazing right now to get this win.
And you were saying your opponent was one of your best friends, and you guys hung out a bunch.
Kelvin,
Talk about Calvin and just
that
able to wrestle him when it counts.
that dude he's one, like, seriously one of my best friends. I love that man. He's like my brother. We just spent a month together. He stayed at my house in Michigan, and we were supposed to be wrestling, but we more just hung out. It's amazing that I got to wrestle him. He's a great competitor, even better friend.
So, couple things, and you were just talking about people don't always think that Greco is exciting. You have a lot of fun making it exciting.
I
Can
mean,
you talk about, what you see Greco and why it's so important for, fans to see more?
I mean, this is one of the first sports. I love this stuff. I mean, I left high school early to start wrestling Greco. I was a high school state champ. I offered to wrestle college, and I just said, screw it, I want to wrestle Greco. That's where my passion was, my love is. And I mean, I know all these folk stylers came out here and wrestled, and some of them did good and some of them didn't. But this sport's real. You got to train. You got to love it. It's important that when we're out there, we're putting on a show so people see how awesome and great this sport is. When I'm out there, I'm trying to put a show on. I mean, I'm trying to win, but I'm trying to show people that this sport is awesome.
Okay, we have some people with some questions, so go ahead. Mark Bailey, you're good to go.
Yeah, I mean, from your walkout to jumping around and
You
to your celebration, yeah, I saw it, man. It was amazing. I don't never really see wrestlers ever do that.
I just love it.
Yeah, where's that come from? What inspires you?
My coach Andy Bisick is just like, he just wants us to always just stresses just how important it is to have fun and be relaxed. And that song, All I Do Is Win, came on, and I just went out there, turned up, and I got that W. So I mean, that's what I do. I like to entertain.
It was definitely entertaining, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Hey, what are you gonna do to celebrate tonight, man?
Ooh.
You gonna go to dinner? Or
I'm gonna go to dinner. I'm gonna eat. This cut was a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be, but I'm gonna go eat maybe a steak, maybe some chicken. I don't know. And then me and my friends are gonna go out and have a good time. I'm only a junior, so I'm only 20, so I can't have like all that fun. But I'm gonna still have fun. I'll make the best of it.
Oh, hey, Olympic year ahead, right?
I know it's kind of frustrating that I'm not qualified for Olympic trials and I just want to see a national championship. I know a lot of guys weren't here, but this still wasn't easy. I still felt like I should be allowed to wrestle at the Olympic trials, but I'll be at last chance to get that done. And then I'll be there, hopefully making that Olympic team.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Really enjoy watching you wrestle.
You see that? Hey, much love. Go Greco, baby. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Muted the muted the camera. That's why it went on mute.
Oh, because he was going crazy.
Lauren,
Oh, Lauren.
Lauren did it.
Still 38 seconds on the match here. Oh. Maybe that wasn't him. He took a while to last one. Hey, we'll do what we give him. 42.
Have a seat. Thank you.
Took off, man. We got through the tournament, won the finals, national champion. I know you came in here to win, but I'm sure you're also interested in how you wrestle. Tell us how you wrestle today.
I felt decent. I thought my condition was good coming in, but I mean that wrestling condition hits you different. So I was surviving my matches, but I definitely wasn't breaking people at my pace, which I'm more used to doing. But yeah, wrestled decent. Only points I gave up were making just silly mistakes on my gut wrench. I ended up on my back twice, which was a little scary, but made do. Got through it.
So, I mean, you're in the Olympic trials, and you came here to get competition. Right? When you leave and you start looking back at your tape and working with your coaches, what kind of things do you think you'll need prior to the next time you go up against some of these guys?
Yeah, first thing first, I gotta get more reps. You know, been training for a good amount of time, but not like usual where I'm just training nonstop year round. So I get them reps in, do all the little things right, every position, get my gas tank right, so I can start pushing from first whistle to the last whistle again.
And you know, does this get you even more focused on the Olympic year, the Olympic trials, and all that? Get out, wrestle some Greco, and come back with a stop sign.
Yeah, it's always nice winning, but like I said earlier, I just freaking love wrestling. So getting opportunities to wrestle, taking advantage of everything I can. Just so excited for Olympic trials, Olympic year come around. See what I can do, see where I'm at.
Okay, we're gonna open up the questions. Who you got there?
Mark Bader, you're good to go.
Passion for, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I love your passion for wrestling. I love to watch you wrestle and compete. It shows. I'm curious, though, because we're doing these interviews and I'm watching it here on TV. I looked up. I kind of missed it, but I saw you on your back, and I was like, "Holy cow!" I don't know. I didn't know what happened. I was like, "Is he gonna get pinned?" Like, did you panic? Or did you think you ever were in trouble, fear of getting pinned?
I hate to say I'm comfortable on my back, but I mean I wasn't panicking. It's wrestling. You know, some stuff happens, some stuff you probably don't want to happen. You know, sometimes you end up on your back. It's still just wrestling. I had to keep fighting through it. Can't let up when you get put on your back like that. It was a little scary, but yeah, fought off. Had to get some points back for the rest of the match.
Sure. Well, great job, man.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Well, Colton, congratulations, man. It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
You have a good next couple months.
Sounds good.
When we get to see you again, hopefully sooner.
Sounds good.
All right, be well.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, Andrew. Thank you guys so much. No problem. Andrew, we'll be clean real quick. Okay? Make sure you get safe. You good, man? Yep. All right. How's it? You still alive? Yep, we're alive. Andrew, you've won nationals before, but tell us what this one means to you and how you felt being able to wrestle after all this pandemic.
First and foremost, I just gotta thank God, that none of this would be possible. During this pandemic, it's been extremely hard. Obviously, we aren't able to practice the way we want, train the way we want. So it's been more mental than physical. I feel like I'm always in pretty decent shape, but this time around, I just needed to keep my composure and focus on the task at hand. I had in this tournament to win it, and that's what I came here to do, and that's what happened. Shout out to Pat. He's a great competitor, but I had my mindset from day one. my training was towards this wasn't the best due to COVID, but I made the best of it, and it's number 3 for me.
Yeah, 3 times. I mean, was any stand out ahead of the others, or are they just as sweet?
Honestly, this would probably be the best one. Man, I battled so much adversity on and off the mat. My last showing at the Open didn't go so well. I beat myself up for it, but this is the one.
And talk about, you know, kind of blew that match open. Talk a little bit about that.
If I told you I was expecting to go in and finish that match like that, I'd be lying. Pat, like I said, we've had some great matches. I was entering this this finals a little banged up for my semis, and honestly, I couldn't walk for the past hour or so. Jim, the trainer, take me up really good. Shout out to Jim. And my coach Sheldon, he's been in my corner since day one. Love the guy with all my heart. He told me this was the one. We got it. And he taped me up, and you know, the rest is history.
Okay, we're gonna open up some other questions. Mike Finn, you're good to go.
Yeah, hello, Kendrick. It almost seems like maybe this pandemic and everything he's gone through has actually been good for you. I hate to say it, and it gave you something else to think about or put life in perspective to help you deal with this past year.
Yeah,
is that accurate?
Yeah, that's very accurate. This pandemic gave me a lot of time to overthink. You know, let's think about the things I was doing wrong, decisions I was making on and off the mat. I've sacrificed so much for the sport, and for me to leave empty-handed would be shameful of me for the people who put time into me, who's worked and sacrificed so much for me. So during this pandemic, man, I actually ended up buying a wrestling mat. I put it in my garage. With our restrictions, we weren't able to train the way we wanted to, but I knew I had to get the job done. Overseas, they're training. Really, we can't train the way we want to, but I had to make the best of it, and I did.
Next question, Mark Vader.
Hey, Kendrick, great match and great story overall. Particularly in that match, that last sequence, at some point, you know, obviously his arm got trapped. From where I was sitting, I mean, it looked like it almost came out, like he could have almost limped armed out. Obviously, he couldn't. But at any point, did you feel like it was going to slip out? And
it definitely was slipping out.
Set that up for the transition?
Yeah, it definitely. I didn't expect his arm to still be trapped when I arm threw him, but he kept trying to fight through. I caught it, and there was no way I was letting that go. I knew that was my chance to finish the match. I don't know if I would have got that chance ever again, but I made sure I took full advantage of it.
Yeah, great job, man. Congratulations.
Kendrick, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
We look forward to seeing you in that competition.
Thank you. As always, thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I recently been going to your friend. You know Brody. He's lost. That's right. Yeah. I think you know his girlfriend is not in. Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Are we on? We are on. Sarah, you national champ again, and you had to wrestle today. A tough opponent in the final, so you know.
Yeah.
Talk about what it took to get not only the points you scored, but to get the upper hand in that battle.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough when it's somebody who knows you really well, you know. There's just a lot of, you know, we see each other train. We know what makes each other tick. where we like to be. So yeah, just went into that match, just wanting to be patient, knowing that I'm good enough for my points to open up as they come and not having to force them. And, it's a 6 whole minutes, and a win's a win at the end of the day. So don't force anything. But I feel like I started racking up the points as time went on. And yeah, it was a good match.
Obviously, for someone who's been through a period of uncertainty and just trying to get back in the rhythm of what you do, did you feel really like, hey, this is me wrestling out there?
Right. Well, it was weird because, first of all, this was my first domestic tournament down at 50 kilos. So it was a whole new group of girls. And then on top of that, I feel like every competition I had done was very it was a ranking tournament. It was Olympic qualifiers, very high stress tournaments. And obviously every time I wrestle is a lot of anxiety, but I gave myself a little grace with this competition, just, with the situation and everything. And so I feel like it did make it very strange, I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm kind of what is happening, So, but it was good. And I feel like as the day went on, I felt more and more in my element, more and more normal. And then obviously finals, you put us under the lights and you put a smoke machine out there, I'm coming to wrestle, I'm coming to rip your head off. And that felt just like any other day,
So there's a lot of uncertainty about the schedule and things like that. But what would you like to do after this as far as competition? What do you want to get on the mat?
Oh, I live for competing. I mean, that's why I'm here, right? I'm sitting in the finals of trials. I don't, I'm giving people more chances to feel me, but I want to be out here. I love to compete.
You got a money match coming up.
I do. So excited. Right back here, Hawkeye Wrestling Club, November 1st. But yeah, I love to compete. That beats a day of drilling any day. That's what I tell my coaches. I'm like, yeah, get me on the mat competing so I don't have to go drill all day. So yeah, as things pop up, I obviously need to be smart about it, just because timing my weight cuts and all of that, I want it to be very logical. But yeah, hoping we can get overseas at some point before Olympic trials, get my hands on some international girls, as well as get a camp going. And so yeah, as they come, I'm ready. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna open up for questions. Mark Vader, you're good.
All right. We kind of talked about ring rust, or if there was, anything like that after the semis, and clearly it wasn't. I thought your timing looked great. And I guess one of my questions is, first time making 50 kilos domestically, how was the cut, and did you feel as good as you looked?
Well, it was nice. We got 2 kilos, but still with the, coming off of quarantine, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't put on some kilos. So it's still a weight cut. But it felt great. And honestly, with my whole weight cut in the beginning of 2020, there were a lot of mistakes. Like at Rome, that ranking tournament in the beginning of the year, awful weight cut. And I felt like with every competition, I'm getting better. So coming into this one, there were a lot of mistakes I had made earlier in the year that I knew to kind of avoid. So just really I talk about water being like the OG caffeine, this will give you energy. This is the magical juice, not coffee. So I've really been on the hydration game and just trying to do everything really smart. So I felt pretty good today.
Yeah, you look great. Congrats.
Thanks.
Congratulations, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
You brought your sidekick with you, huh?
Yeah, Harper, extreme in the extreme arena.
See you guys later.
Bye, thank you so much.
Thank you. How you doing, Pat? Good. We're good.
Good.
So Alan, I know you've been in the country a while. How does it feel to be the United States national champion?
For be honest, this is also what I was waiting for so long. I was participating, but I also like a spectator. I knew this day coming one day. I feel really happy. So not just for me, this is a teamwork with my wife, my coaches, my sponsors. I'm so grateful. I want to say thank you so much. USA Wrestling, they made me feel so much better. So about myself, my inside, my mind, and they just push me. The coach Malin, I want to say hi. So we are together in this, and thank you so much for believing me.
So Joe Rao, he's tough. You guys wrestled before. What did it take to beat him today?
So every tournament, every match is different. So many people expecting me win, beat him by great superior technique or foul, but this time it's not possible. But I think it's a good match. So I win really comfortable. So much point. I get some scores. He's the last world team member. He's already qualified the big weight class for US. I think it is good match that it could come in the future.
What were you doing during the pandemic? What were you able to do to keep yourself in shape?
Oh, here we go again. My shape is two different things what you guys see and how I feel. So for be honest, right now in my shape, I'd be 30-40%, not at all. But the pandemic, I have one guy, so I give you one interview to 5-point move. I'm so ready for one guy. I'm pretty sure you guys know who he is. He's a French Amazo from Italy. So this guy, we training together for whole time the pandemic be here in the US. And we training, we're not available for working on the mat, but we make it so much work outside the gyms. He pushed me a lot. And later I complement it with the training camp, the Greco-Roman in Utah, Ballet, and Nebraska, Omaha.
Okay, and we'll open up for some questions from the journalists. Mike King, you're good to go.
Yes, Alan, congratulations. Could you take us back, though, to 2016, wherever it was that you made the decision to defect to this country? Tell us what's been the toughest part, who's helped you the most, and where you are regarding your citizenship for the United States.
Okay, let's begin for the last part. Sometimes when the answer is not in my hands, I feel really frustrating. So I just make it a play. I just applied for my citizen last year. I was available. I had my date 1 day before the last chance qualified for the Olympic trials, but they canceled by COVID-19. But right now I'm just waiting. So they call me in again, and hopefully, if it's on time, so I'm ready for making the team. And let's keep it that my dream alive is participating in my Olympic Games and getting my medal. So in this moment right now, for US.
Anyone else? Mark Vader.
Hey, yeah, I'm curious, when did you decide all Greco and why?
Well, I decided Greco the first time, the first one, because my dad, he's the coach in Cuba, and I started the training with 10 years old. So that means right now I get it 19 years in this game. Mm-hmm. In this point, he was the Greco coach, and we go to the mat every single day. So for fun, but one day he said, okay, it's not fun anymore. So now let's be serious. But right now he's a freestyle coach.
That's crazy.
Yeah, in Cuba.
Well, congratulations, man. You look fantastic.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
One more, Mike Finn.
Yeah. Hey, Alan, I'm sorry.
Mike Finn, you're on mute.
Sorry, but I hope you can hear me, Alan. But
yeah, I can hear you right now.
From what I understand, if there's a world championship in December, you would be eligible to represent the United States for that. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what could you talk about that? Why that would be important for you right now?
So about this pandemic, everything has to be before and after. before the pandemic, everyone was focused on the Olympic Games. Later the pandemic coming, so they canceled the Olympics, right? So the bigger tournament is supposed to be now the World Championship, right? If they already decided to make it. And it should be really good for me. So why? Because I have the first opportunity to represent the US at the World Championship. I'm available. So, and it should be my first medal at the Worlds. So the first one, later, this is just a complementary, just the one more steps for the Olympic Games. So the Olympic champion, there's no way you can make it the Olympic champion 2-3 months, 1 to 2 years, right? So the Olympic champion take a time. But in my personal case, the time is something that I don't have in my favor, but I have my mind in my favor. I'm really strong mind right now.
Well, congratulations, Alan. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Alan, we're very proud of you. We've been watching you for years. And, you know, this was exciting to have you in our national tournament, be able to wrestle in the US and win our championship. And we look forward to seeing you later in the season, okay?
Thank you so much.
Great work.
And Gary, let me tell you something, because I live here in the US in 2016, and everyone know my wife, Elena Peroshkova, and I watch every single interview, and I told my wife, listen, one day I know this guy has to make me one interview. I don't know if he's at the national, I don't know if he's at the Olympic trial, I don't know if he's at the Worlds, at the Olympics, whatever. I was waiting for this moment, so just let me watch. Thank you so much, man. Yeah. Yeah, they made it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent.
Thanks, guys. Hello, everybody. That's our last national champion for tonight. We look forward to 3 weights tomorrow in women's, and then the 6 freestyle weights on Sunday. So hopefully this worked out. We're going to keep doing it, and we really enjoy being back at wrestling. Thank you.